A once-in-a-generation talent, freakish power, silky finesse, and a game-breaking ability that made jaws drop. When he entered the league, the hype was insane. New Orleans believed they struck gold. They envisioned a superstar who could carry them back to glory. The face of the franchise, the future. But here we are, 5 years later, and things have taken a wild turn. Yes, Zion's numbers this season are solid. 24.6 points, 7.2 rebounds, 5.3 assists, but he only played 30 games. Again, and now, the buzz around him has flipped completely. His trade value? Some say it's down to just one first-round pick. From franchise savior to trade bait? This is the story of how we got here, and why Zion Williamson might be on his way out. Let's dive into the video. There are rumors swirling about a new player making waves. Cooper Flagg, the Duke phenom who had an impressive freshman season, recently led his team to the Final Four, averaging 19.2 points per game while demonstrating elite two-way potential, with stats such as 19.2 points, 7.5 rebounds, 4.2 assists, 1.4 steals, and 1.4 blocks. It's clear that Flagg isn't just a future star. He possesses the potential to be franchise-changing. Additionally, when considering his shooting percentages, 48.1% from the field, 38.5% from three-point range, and 84% from the free throw line, it's evident that he meets all the requirements of a team like the Pelicans. In the April 5th, 2025 Final Four matchup against the Houston Cougars, he scored 27 points, showcasing his scoring ability. In another game, he netted 42 points, breaking Duke's single-game freshman scoring record during their 86-78 victory over Notre Dame. For the New Orleans Pelicans, this signifies the beginning of a complete overhaul in their vision. Zion Williamson's career has been plagued by injuries and distractions, raising serious concerns about his long-term viability. If the team aims to succeed, it's time to reset and embrace a future focused on health, stability, and a solid foundation of young talent. Players like Cooper Flagg, who can remain on the floor and develop alongside others, represent the type of future New Orleans is pursuing. Looking ahead, the Pelicans are setting their sights on a new timeline. With a healthy Trey Murphy III, the defensive strength of Herbert Jones, the high potential of Jordan Hawkins, and the emerging star power of Flagg, New Orleans is building a promising future. The steady leadership of CJ McCollum, the two-way impact of DeJounte Murray, and Yves Missy's presence in the paint round out a core that makes sense, a core that is aligned and, perhaps most importantly, on the same timeline. Zion Williamson's career has been defined by a series of injuries and off-court distractions, which have overshadowed his undeniable talent. Despite his impressive statistics and moments of brilliance, his availability has been a constant issue. Throughout his career, he's played in less than 30% of available games, raising doubts about his ability to be a consistent contributor. As a result, his trade value has dropped significantly, with rumors suggesting that it's now worth no more than a single first-round pick. Let's break it down with the facts. Since being drafted number 1 overall in 2019, Zion has played in only 119 out of a possible 411 regular season games. That's less than 30%. This season, things seem to be looking up for Zion. The 2024-25 season began with promise, but early into the year, a left hamstring strain sidelined him for 27 games. He returned on January 8th, scoring 22 points in under 28 minutes. However, just 2 days later, he was suspended by the team for being late for a flight. According to head coach Willie Green, this wasn't a one-time incident. It was the culmination of multiple off-court issues. There were some flashes of brilliance after that. A triple-double against the Suns, another against the Clippers. These moments showcased the potential Zion still possesses. But by March 19th, it all came crashing down again. A bone contusion in his back shut him down for the season, leaving him with only 30 games played. Now, with Zion sidelined once again, and no clear timeline for his return, the Pelicans are struggling. They've fallen to a 4-18 record without him, and a team that once seemed poised for future success now appears to be heading in the wrong direction. Hope you find this video exciting. If you're enjoying it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated with more great content. Zion is on a $197 million extension, with nearly $40 million coming his way next season. That's a maximum contract for a player who's only played a fraction of his possible games since entering the league. The Pistons, having made the playoffs for the first time since 2019, are hungry for relevance. They're desperate for a star who can elevate their ceiling, but the risk is enormous. Zion could be the star they need, or the one who breaks their hearts. The trade talks are heating up, and one proposal making the rounds is sending Zion to the Detroit Pistons. For Detroit, pairing Zion with Cade Cunningham could be the key to a potential playoff run.
More than a few threes from the corner. Cade with a shot. He hits it.
But it's a huge gamble. The Pelicans, on the other hand, would be moving on from Zion to rebuild with young assets, allowing them to set a new course without the injury-prone star. Zion Williamson entered the league as a generational prospect, a once-in-a-decade talent with sky-high expectations. However, his career now risks being defined by what could have been. The issue has never been about talent, it's about availability. If Zion can't demonstrate that he can stay healthy and consistently contribute, he could be remembered as one of the biggest what-if stories in NBA history. The pressure is palpable, and time is running out for him to turn things around. This potential trade isn't just about on-court performance. It delves into something much deeper: trust and reliability. The Pelicans aren't trading Zion because he is a bad player. They were trading him because they can't count on him to be available when it matters most. Despite the jaw-dropping highlights and glimpses of brilliance, the Pelicans are choosing a future free from the constant cloud of injury risk. For them, it's about building a sustainable team, one not held captive by uncertainty. At this point, Zion's reputation hinges on one question: can he stay healthy and show up every night? If he cannot, his legacy may become more about missed potential than actual achievements. If the trade goes through, everything changes. Detroit takes a significant swing, betting on superstardom, while New Orleans hits reset, focusing on young assets and long-term depth. Both teams stand at a crossroads, one chasing potential, the other escaping risk. This deal isn't merely about basketball. It encompasses trust, timing, and the harsh realities of the NBA business. And that concludes today's video. Zion Williamson's journey has been tumultuous, rich in potential yet marred by heartbreak. The Pelicans are ready to move on, while the Pistons are taking a considerable gamble. Will Zion find his rhythm in Detroit, or will his legacy be defined by what could have been? Only time will tell. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Zion's future and the Pelicans' plans, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Zion can turn things around? Or is it time for a fresh start? Let me know. Thanks for watching, and catch you in the next one.